So we're just about to go on to start talking about the finals, and Sean pauses before I click live to change into a Con Air t-shirt. Now, like, I don't know how many of our listeners know what Con Air is. The classic movie with Nicolas Cage, but where he has hair. That's like the biggest deal of it, is like long hair. But Sean broke this out.
You like it?
I do like it. I just think it's
Yeah.
funny that 2 weeks after Top Gun Maverick comes out, instead of getting a Top Gun t-shirt, you have a Con Air t-shirt.
I'm going to be completely upfront with you and tell you that I love Con Air way more than I love Top Gun.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm going to
God.
say this. Top Gun Maverick is phenomenal.
It's
It
great.
is a phenomenal. It is, if you haven't went out and seen it, guys, it is the movie of the summer. It lives up to every bit of the hype. Like, even if you're one of those people who like hears so much hype and they're like turned off by the movie, like, oh, I don't want to go see it because everybody else likes it. Like, this is like one of those movies that everyone can get behind. Like movie buffs, people that just love fun, Tom Cruise fans, Scientologists, everyone's gonna love this. So it is a great movie. But yeah, I will say I think Con Air is a considerably better action movie than the original Top Gun. I don't even think it's close.
Okay, I'll say it's a better action movie.
Better cast too.
But it's not a better movie. It's just not.
I don't think that. No.
Buddy. First off, we're talking about Nicolas Cage acting in a movie versus Tom Cruise.
Okay. Both Jerry Bruckheimer films. Both of them.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. But we're talking like peak Nicolas Cage, peak John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Yes. It was like a 3-year thing, you know, and it was post Oscar. He won the Oscar and just said, screw it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I got the award, I can do whatever I want now. And he's been living off of that philosophy the rest of his career, and I respect him for it.
Accurate.
So, but yeah. Okay, so you know, me and Tim usually agree on stuff, but we do not agree on this, and that's okay.
Nope.
So that's okay.
We don't.
All right. This is the hill I'm willing to die on.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You watch Hustle yet?
I have not. I was going to, but we will talk about it soon because it is definitely like the next movie I'm watching.
Yeah, I really liked it actually. So I don't want to, I'll wait till you watch it and we'll do a hoop cinema on it.
Yeah.
But obviously, the finals are going on, so we got to get to that. And it's been really competitive and really fun. You kind of saw last night, the Celtics were the ones that flexed their third quarter muscle. And I'm not for certain that Golden State wins if Jordan Poole doesn't hit that bank shot 3 at the end of the third. Yeah. But, I think at that same point, obviously, look, they're up 3-2 and they've played really well. And, anything Boston threw at in the last 2 games, they had an answer for. Steph Curry had an all-time game in game 4. Just unbelievable what he was able to do. Down 2-1, no one else really being able to score. Obviously Andrew Wiggins has blown us out of the water with how good he's been in the finals. To finally be the Andrew Wiggins we thought he'd be has been great to watch. I'm back buying Andrew Wiggins stock.
Oh, everybody is.
Yeah, everybody is for sure. So you can probably find those. You can probably get those Panini first Cavaliers cards. He actually had Cavaliers cards before he got traded.
Yeah.
Now you can probably get those a little cheaper today than you can before Game 6 on Thursday. So I know because I found a few Jordan Pooles I had that I looked up. His stock flew. Oh my God, his stock.
You got a couple Jordan Poole rookie cards?
Very, very few. I've got premium stock NBA hoops. 2 of them.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that's my favorite.
Not numbered.
I love premium stock. I know a lot of people are like, oh, whatever, and they're not really worth, but I think they're some of the best looking cards that are out there. So
yeah, I think cards are whatever you want it to be.
Like that John Morant that I gave you. I think that is a fantastic looking John Morant rookie card.
I'd slab it. Yeah, I would definitely put that. I would definitely get it graded just to have in my collection. But back to the games, obviously, I think what really jumps out the most is the way that Golden State almost kind of feels like they're going gung-ho on this, because it almost feels like they feel like this is the end of the run. You know what I mean? It feels like it's like we have to win now because we don't know what happens from here. We've got this big payroll. Clay is getting older. Dre is getting older. Steph's getting older. what do we do with Wiggins and Poole moving forward? What are we going to get out of James Wiseman? When he's able to play again, apparently he's going to London to do some stem cell research, which hopefully that all clears up and goes okay. So it almost feels like it's like, look, we have to win this one because we don't know what happens after this. We don't know what our future looks like. And on the other end, if you're Boston, I think it's super easy when you see these young teams that kind of play over their head to go, oh, they'll be back. But like, it doesn't happen anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Since the Golden State Cleveland run, those 4 straight years,
Yeah.
we've not had a finals repeat. We've only had one team play in the finals twice. And that's Golden State, actually, because they played against Toronto and they're playing in this one. So like this whole, don't worry, they're going to be back thing is not a thing anymore. So kind of, what are you kind of taking away from the past few games? Obviously, finding a way to win yesterday when Steph Curry is not hitting threes is pretty impressive. But also just taking Jason Tatum completely out of the game. He's only shooting 30% from 2-point field land right now. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. So a lot of observations on this. So, first of all, I don't necessarily think this is the end of the Golden State run by any stretch. I think we thought that 3 years ago, in the Toronto game. Like, I think we thought that was 2 years. It was 2 years ago? 3 years ago.
Calendar-wise, 2. Season-wise, 38.
38, yeah. So when KD went down, when Clay went down, we kind of were all like, okay, the book's shut. Like, this was the end of this run. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think they were going to make it back to an NBA Finals. However, Steph Curry is incredible. He's played some of the best basketball of his career the last couple seasons. He's just been so good, and he had an off night, last night, obviously. But this franchise's ability to dig deep for talent, and make something out of it. And I mean, they are, say what you will, if you hate Golden State because you hate Steph and you hate Draymond and whatever, but like, the one thing you can't take away from them is they are homegrown as hell, man. Every player on this team, Gary Payton Jr. Even Kevon Looney has been a vital part of this team, and Jordan Poole obviously this year has been phenomenal. I mean, what are they paying Jordan this year?
This is the last year where he's on his rookie deal, so I think if I can keep talking and I'll find it.
So you gotta get you got a guy who's just completely come out of his shell and basically has been around guys that shoot so well and are all-stars and everything. He is going to find himself to be an all-star, but he can't leave this team. He can't leave the team. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is a team that if you continue winning, regardless of circumstance, keep paying the tax. Just keep paying it, because you never know when this is going to end. And I am all in for a squad that's just, a franchise that's going to just protect its talent and keep building it up and doing what it's doing. We don't know what we're going to get from James Wiseman. He's another guy. He's a complete question mark. He could be a great NBA player. We don't know yet. But the fact that they're taking their time, rolling him along, that is a chip that they have, in their pocket right now if they need to bust that out at some point. But to be able to develop guys like a G League player like Gary Payton Jr. and make him, one of the best defenders in the NBA. Jordan Poole, one of the best, sixth men really in the NBA. And also, Draymond has his moments where he's Draymond, and he had some steals last night that were incredible. Like, he looks great, so the ability to continuously develop talent is a huge advantage that Golden State has over other teams. And as long as you keep them healthy and, happy and everything. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Who knows? Clay comes back next year. He might be a different guy, He might be a different guy. This may have been an off season. I know he's going to work this off season. And I know he's going to get better again. I don't know if we're going to see where we did a couple years ago, but he's still a very serviceable player, and he may get better next year. So, I have nothing but great things to say about this. The Celtics, on the other hand, they are such an enigma to me. how they started off the season so terrible, turned it around like it was nothing. It was like after that Marcus Smart
oh yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, where he
That feels
basically
years ago.
Yeah, he basically threw everybody under the bus. I thought Smart was going to get traded after that. He did not. Team group regrouped. They became the best team in the NBA. So in the second half of the season, their 3-point percentage is fantastic. Like, they're a great 3-point shooting team. They are. But the difference between Golden State right now and what I see from the Boston Celtics is the Golden State Warriors have a generational talent in Steph Curry.
Right.
And what I see in Boston, they have 2 all-stars in the Defensive Player of the Year. Not superstars, all-stars. And I am not sure that Jason Tatum has that other gear. Like, I don't know. He could. The next 2 games, he could come out and score 50 points, and it wouldn't even shock me. You know, I'd be like, maybe he does. He's got it. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's been great in the playoffs leading up to the finals.
But he leads right now the NBA Finals record for turnovers.
Yeah, he already's broken it, hasn't he?
He's already broken it. Yeah.
Record, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but like LeBron and like, we can't even compare those. So, you know, I don't know what is going on with him. The fact that he's shooting 30% from 2-point range.
Yeah, 19.
I mean, in the NBA, where, you know, that's going to be a typical 2-pointer is what, like a layup or a dunk, possibly, or. I'm gonna.
I will say that I've
There
grown
were-
up with the Celtics getting calls, but
Yeah,
yes,
there was.
this
Yeah,
officiating has been terrible.
yeah, it was, and there was some flops, especially Jordan Poole got away with.
Jordan Poole got away with that, and there was a Gary Payton Jr. had the one where like Marcus Smart, like, I guess, hit his arm.
Oh yeah, and he fell back. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did too. So, but you know, you also look at like you know some no calls on that kind of stuff, because there was a point in the game later in the game where Klay Thompson ended up going up for 3,
yeah.
and Marcus Smart basically just jumped out of the way, and I didn't really see that I only saw that from one angle, and I was like, wow, he got away with a push off right there, but he didn't do anything to him. He just fell backwards, and then he just drilled a 3-pointer. So,
but I don't blame him for trying, because Golden State
because of that,
calls.
yeah,
right,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah,
but it wasn't their night. They're going to get those calls on Thursday nights.
Yeah, very well.
They're going to get those calls on Thursday. They will. So,
yeah. To answer your earlier question, Jordan Poole this year is getting $2.1 million.
ooh.
So next year is his year he can sign his rookie extension, which can be up to 5 years, $186 million. So year one salary would be 32.3. So it certainly seems like the case is going to be that they plan to sign him. Did you see what Windhorst said today? It was so stupid. I hate to ever say Windhorst said something dumb because I'm a big fan of his.
Oh yeah.
He said to beat Golden State, it's not that you have to beat them on the court, you have to beat their checkbook. And it's like, okay, man, like, you're talking about, like, how many of those guys, like Andrew Wiggins is the one that they traded for. And, like, you know, it wasn't like they went out and signed like LeBron James and
no
Anthony. Like, it was like, you know, like we just said to start the show, like Klay Thompson, homegrown, Steph Curry, homegrown, Draymond Green, homegrown, Jordan Poole. You know, we went down this list already. So I just thought that was a dumb take.
Well, and you know, the thing is, it's like they went out one year because of you know the contract situation, and everything.
Flippy Gaming is bringing it tonight, folks.
They are.
He said the refs are biased towards the Warriors and that they should give the team Academy Awards. I love the fire and frustration. I'm really into it. Like if it was my team, I'd feel the same way. But my team doesn't play in the finals, so you know.
No, it's been a while. So, but open up your checkbook. I mean,
for the Celtics, at that.
For the Celtics, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The Celtics, their team is homegrown too. I mean, their 3 best players. It's the same situation. You know, and there's been trade rumors for all 3 of those guys a million times. and they decided to keep them together, and look where they're at. They're in the NBA Finals. So, kudos to them for keeping it together and also bringing Al Horford back, who has been a decent contributor this season and in the playoffs. So, but last night, the biggest thing for me, the Wiggins thing to me is the deciding factor right now with the Golden State Warriors. And when we saw him get traded for, was it D'Angelo Russell? Is that who he got? Yeah. God, it feels like it was forever ago. When he ended up, the way that I looked at it was, I looked at it the same way as I looked at D'Angelo Russell. Like, this is just a fill-in player until they're able to do something better. And Andrew Wiggins is not a fill-in player. He made the All-Star team. He had a drop-off in the second half of the season. And for some reason, somehow, some way, he has really stepped it up and became the player that we thought he was going to be 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. But he's doing it as the second banana right now. So, and I'm overlapping Clay on that because Andrew Wiggins is now officially the second banana on the Golden State Warriors at this moment. And the thing that I really like about him is, especially last game, was his relentlessness inside and just going at Time Lord and just going in, driving the ball, and some of the dunk that he had and the layup that he had last night were just incredible. Like, he looked phenomenal. But it brings up a thing, where I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Say Golden State does win, game 6 or 7, they win the whole thing. Steph has one more bad game. Andrew Wiggins has another 23 point, 10 rebound.
27 rebounds the last 2 games.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, no.
You don't think so? It still goes to Steph? They have to give it to him?
No way you could pass. Yeah, you have to give it to him at this point. It's like when Ron Artest didn't get Finals MVP, but Kobe did in 2010. Like, Game 7, Ron Artest won that game.
Yeah,
Ron Artest sealed the deal.
Yes, he did. And I was standing up and applauding while that was going on. That was his career defining moment right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for them to just be like, well, Kobe, is Kobe Bryant, so he has to get it, and he didn't get in the Shaq years and stuff like that. Like, okay, yeah. And it feels like this is the same thing here. So Derpy Gaming has informed us actually he's a Cavs fan, and it'll be fine because their future is bright. And I 1,000% agree with that.
I agree. Yeah.
Agree. Very excited about the future of the Cavs. Talk about it just about every week on this show.
Yeah. Probably getting a hometown hero back soon too.
Yeah, a lot of rumblings about that. So, all right, let's go real quick because we won't be back on the air until after Game 6. Does Boston make this a 7-game series, or do you see a situation where I see both sides, but I'm so worried about how little the Celtics bench has been effective. And I think Steph Curry wants to make this a legacy game again, to seal his Finals MVP, to get that 4th ring. And they want to, and I'm sure they would love to win at the Bay. Who wouldn't? But they don't play like that. They've been in this situation before where they got to a Game 7 on their home floor and saw what happened. So I think they're going to close it out. I think Steph Curry's going to have a big, big game.
Oh, yeah. No NBA team wants to go back for a Game 7 to seal a deal. You can go back for a Game 6. You can do that. You can go back for a Game 6, but you don't want to go back for a Game 7. That's too dangerous. So, and also winning it in Boston, it would just be devastating for Boston fans. It would just be absolutely devastating. I don't know where Golden State Warriors even go to celebrate at that point either. They just probably have to roll out of town at that point.
Just get right on the charter.
Get on the charter. You can go anywhere else. You can go to New York. You can go to Philly. You can go anywhere else, but I don't think you can celebrate in Boston. I don't think you can just go out, because all you're gonna do is get spit on and cussed at and flipped off and all this other fun stuff. So, and then people are gonna tell you, oh, the refs were biased and blah blah blah. Maybe they were a little bit, but I think that Boston makes it a 7-game series. Okay. And I said this earlier in a group text with you. If Boston wins, if they lose a 3rd game in a row here, I'm chalking them up as complete frauds who didn't belong here in the first place. because Tatum folded last game, and he was great in the third quarter. But like like you said, the Jordan Poole shot, it just took the wind out of their sails, man. It was over with. Like you felt that I was like, they're gonna blow this. The Warriors are gonna blow this. They're gonna blow it. They lost the lead, and then he hit that shot. Whole crowd stood up, and I was like, it's gonna be tough for Celtics to get back into this, even though they're only down by 1. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna go 7. I hope it's not, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm ready for the season to be over. I'm looking forward to the draft next week. I'm ready for that. I want to be able to start talking about that and thinking about that and moving on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Derpy Gaming is still in here. He wants to talk about the Cavs, which, I mean, I'm never sad about.
Here we go.
So he said 4 players he's interested in with the Cavaliers are Malachi Branham from Ohio State, Each Liddell from Ohio State, O'Shea Agbaji from Kansas, and Tari Eason from LSU, who we have to watch play at UC for a year. One of these would be nice if you can snag them. If not, I would say they consider trading the 14th pick. I truly believe that the Cavs are going to try to trade the 14th pick. I think that they see where things are. Look, we're going to talk about the Bulls here in a minute, and some of the stuff that's been going on about them. The Hornets have been super close. Obviously, they've been in the play-in 2 years in a row.
Nuggets made a trade today.
Yeah, the Nuggets just got JaMychal Green. No, they traded JaMychal Green.
Traded JaMychal Green
to get another pick. Yeah. So, I really
here comes
feel
Jokic.
I really feel like the one big thing the Cavs were missing was Isaac Okoro just doesn't give them much offensively. Here he says, he's right here. I feel like we need a wing. They definitely do. And I think that that's going to be a situation where like there was actually discussion of what if Andrew Wiggins went back to Cleveland if he doesn't stay in Golden State. And I just don't see how that happens, but that would be a great fit for them. How it happens, I don't know, but I think the Cavs are going to be very active. I think they're going to shop that 14th pick and try to attach to Isaac Okoro. I like Okoro. I think he's a really good defender.
Yeah, he is.
I just wish he'd do more offensively. And I think they're at this point now with Mobley and Allen that they really feel like they have enough guys to really help them defensively that they're going to look to get another bucket getter.
Yeah, and you cut ties with a guy who's got some question marks, who might still have an upside later down the line. And I think Okoro is still that guy. I think he still has value. You attach that 14th pick, someone else is going to take a flyer on him, so he is the perfect person to put out there because you need a win now guy. You are in a position to win now. You've got a nice young core that is established. Phenomenal season from Evan Mobley. Garland, everybody. It's a really, really good team. It's a fun team.
Who knows what happens with Sexton? If he comes back and he's healthy, that could be a huge decider for them as well.
Does he play? Does he get traded?
Yeah, or do they because he's in his rookie extension season as well. He's in the same draft class as Jordan Poole. So it's like, what do they do with him? It sounds like everything David Griffin and group is saying is that Zion is going to be staying in New Orleans and it's mutual interest. So I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't at first, but now that I see, I feel like when you watch that team, if they had a really good point guard and Zion, they're pretty damn good. But we'll get there here. So he also says, I like Okoro, but he hasn't developed shooting yet. He's basically another Osman with defense, very inconsistent. I was pretty high on Cedi Osman. I was wrong there. So,
I think everybody was.
Yeah, exactly. But Derpy Gaming, really, really appreciate your insight and everything here. So we're going to move on real quick, but feel free to hop in with more comments and questions. Really definitely appreciate when people hang out with us. So you and I have been talking about this all off season, obviously, as Bulls fans. And last week on the show, Ben, Josh, and I kind of touched base on this a little bit as far as the future of the Bulls. But it's kind of coming out today. Jake Fisher from Bleacher Report said that the league is now expecting that Zach LaVine is going to be re-signing with Chicago, which we kind of always felt that was going to be the situation. It sounds like the thing that's kind of tying everything up with him guaranteeing is the 5th year. And a lot of it was the market was not going to, and this is all kind of what Jake Fisher said in the thing. So I'm just kind of paraphrasing it and kind of a little bit. I don't want to word for word. I mean, you guys say I'm saying something wrong by any means, but it looks like, the teams that he was thinking about potentially were teams where he wasn't going to have the chance to be the number one offensive option. He's still not in Chicago either, likely. That's likely DeMar DeRozan after this last season. But
or it might not be next season. Maybe he is maybe he's back to being that, maybe DeRozan takes a step back. He was a surprise.
Yeah, but like if you looked at the teams like Atlanta, Trae Young, LA, LeBron, I think San Antonio was the only other one that Jake Fisher had labeled like he could be the number one offensive option there. And that's just not a good situation because they're not where Chicago is. I think Chicago is very close to being a really good NBA team. And so, obviously I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. We fully expected Zach LaVine to be coming back. All those things where LeVar Ball is saying he was going to the Lakers was bullshit. Shocking.
Yeah.
But LeVar Ball had some bullshit. And then it's kind of looking like he's coming back there. So I'm excited. When he does officially sign back, I will celebrate. But for now, I'm just going to analyze and say, glad that we can end that conversation because I'm so sick of Zach LaVine to Portland trade rumors. I am so sick of Zach LaVine to Miami talk. Like, I don't want Tyler Hero. I love Tyler Hero. Love him.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting that he's going to replace Zach LaVine, then you're taking a step back.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine was better than Donovan Mitchell this year. I don't think people really understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm very relieved that Zach LaVine's going to be re-signing. I think it was it was a lot of smoke the last couple of weeks of places. It was just Zach's internal team trying to solidify the fact that they wanted a max deal. Trying to their little cheap scare tactics. He's a clutch client. We know what they do. So kudos to the Bulls if they're able to re-sign him. Also with Zion, like you said, re-signing with the Pelicans, I think that's going to be. I like that as well. Him getting traded and everything. I don't. He's a big question mark in my book. I don't know what's going on with that guy. I don't think anybody does.
His upside's so high, you just can't quit on him. You know what I mean?
I know. Oh no. He's one of the most exciting players in the NBA. When he plays, I love. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love anytime he shows up. So it's
same. Same. So obviously, like the big discussion last week there was this conversation around would the Bulls and Jazz potentially make a deal to get Rudy Gobert, and I've spoken very highly of my hatred for Rudy Gobert. So rooting for him would be very painful.
Sure.
Does he make the Bulls better where they need him? Certainly. But him being on my team, not really a fan of that. And I think what it kind of came down to was a lot of people were talking about, it's Vooch, Pat Williams, and the 18th pick for Rudy Gobert. And for me, that's just too much. I'm all right with a Vooch deal. I'm all right with attaching a pick to somebody. But I don't understand this whole, people already giving up on Pat Williams thing because he was injured last year. Like the dude did he turn 20 yet? Is he 20 now? I don't
He's
remember.
20. He's 20 now.
Okay. Yeah. But I still really like him. The Bulls still really like him. If your only complaint about him at this point is he's just nervous to shoot, he'll figure that out.
Yeah, and the thing about him, obviously he's very young, but he was hurt. He wasn't even supposed to come back last season.
Right.
Remember, they said he was out for the year, and he ended up still coming back, and he contributed at the end of the season.
He guarded Giannis in the playoffs.
Yeah. So, he's done well. And the thing is, you look at the upside of a guy like Patrick Williams as opposed to the upside of someone like Kobe White. Like Kobe White is a perennial sixth man. I don't see him ever being bigger than that. I don't ever see him being a starting 2 or a starting 1 unless it's maybe for San Antonio at the moment. You hold on to Patrick Williams, but if they do make a trade during the offseason, like this, rumored Vooch trade that might be happening, someone's they're gonna press and they're gonna pry for Patrick Williams. They're gonna press and pry for him, and they got to stand firm on that. Tell him to take Kobe, maybe a draft pick, maybe Vooch. We talked about the possibility of maybe DeAndre Ayton coming to Chicago. I think he would be a phenomenal fit for the crew that they've already established over there. Great young guy to bring together their core, who had a great season, who I completely think is undervalued in Phoenix, to say the least.
Yeah. I really like the idea of Mitchell Robinson.
I know you told me that, but I wouldn't give up what we talked about for Mitchell.
Yeah. So Derpy Gaming, you asked how many picks the Bulls have. They only have one this year, because of the Lonzo ball tampering thing, that whatever that was.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So if they do keep the pick, which I don't think they will, I do really believe the Bulls are going to make a move. I think they saw, when they were healthy last year, and I know you've broken down strength of schedule in that time frame in past episodes. But it's still the NBA. You're still playing professionals. I mean, I know you played the Kings in there a couple times, but you're still playing guys, professional basketball players, and they were still able to put wins together and play consistent when they were healthy, and battled injuries all year. Caruso, Alonzo, Levine, DeMar had the COVID issues for a little bit. So with that 18th pick, if they have it there and they can get like a score, great. And what you said as far as like teams are going to hamper for Patrick Williams, 100%. The Bulls know that. But for me to like give up on him and like trade him somewhere, it's got to be like the guy that puts them over the hump.
Yeah.
It can't be Rudy Gobert. It can't be Mitchell Robinson. This has got to be like, that third piece that's like going to like just bring everything together. And also like, a healthy Lonzo Ball makes all the difference for them too.
Yeah. And no, we're kind of going on a tangent about Chicago, but yeah, I think I really do think that they traded. I really do think they trade the pick this year.
I
think
do
it's
too.
going to happen. Like, I'm not sitting there like going through draft picks like I normally am this time of year. Like, oh, who are we going to pick? Who are we going to deep dive on this year and everything? Like, I'm very confident that they're going to try to make a move, especially if they're going to invest all this money in Zach LaVine in a couple weeks. I think I really, really do think that they're going to do that. So, but yeah.
If they kept it, if Malachi Brandon wants to play for the Chicago Bulls, come on over.
Who does?
Malachi Brandon from Ohio State. He is a bucket getter. I saw him play in person this year when they played Xavier.
Yeah.
That kid just, his jumper is what the kids say, wet.
So 13 points a game, 3 rebounds. Okay. All right.
Talking about 3-point shooting.
Look at that 3-point. Whoa, 416.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. Oh, we got a shooter. Yeah. All right, I'm down.
Which was a good conference. Like, yeah, man, that kid.
St. Vincent, St. Mary, too.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I totally
forgot
about that.
All right, Tim, you've convinced me. You've said enough. There you go.
There's no way he drops 18. So, I highly doubt he gets past. Like, if Cleveland keeps their pick, which Derpy Game's hanging out,
they're taking his ass.
Yeah, he's going there. Yeah. He's, it's like, hey, this worked for this last time. We took a St. Vincent St. Mary's kid. Like, let's do it again. And perfect for them offensively. Just absolutely perfect. So, so that's kind of before we go full on deep dive Bulls, because we're gonna have a lot of time to do that. Also, I saw when they were talking about Gobert, Jake Fisher also mentioned the Hawks as like a big time suitor, and I feel like they've been trying to trade John Collins since like before they drafted him.
Oh my God. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I actually, I'll be honest, I like Gobert in Atlanta. I love that actually. Like, you don't have to talk me into it.
Because it's my 2 least favorite players on the same team.
All on one team?
It's just easy hatred.
It's just okay. I think someone like Gobert would be a perfect pairing with somebody like Trae Young. Like, I really do.
They would. Yeah.
I think he's definitely a step above Collins. And with the news coming out today that pretty much everybody except for DeAndre Hunter and Trae Young is available in the Hawks, which, go ahead, put that out there. We already knew it.
God, what if the Bulls get Kevin Huerter? Oh my God.
Kevin Huerter.
Please.
You're getting, that's what you want to go with? All right. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like Kevin Huerter. But I do like the idea of that, but I would see someone like Kevin Huerter having to be included in a Gobert trade. So,
yeah, for sure. I think it's on the floor. It's a really good fit.
Yeah.
especially for what they want. They give Trey like more stretch to perimeter.
Absolutely.
But also, I can hate them very hard.
No, you get all your hate in one place. So that is a league pass team that Tim will not be signing up for.
Yeah, they're a team I will hate watch for sure. They'll be like, God, I hate these guys.
Oh, here they go. They're losing. Oh, they're losing. Oh no.
Do you feel like this Donovan Mitchell chatter is getting to be a little insane?
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I have no problem if Utah moves on and like starts a rebuild. Good.
So do you think that they may trade both players?
Yeah, I think it's a strong possibility, especially with now that Quinn Snyder stepped down. It feels like it's kind of heading towards that like
end of the era.
Well, we
didn't work.
We had a hell of a run. It just didn't work out.
They really didn't though. When the grand scheme of things, yeah.
They had a hell of a run for the Jazz. They didn't have a hell of a run for like other NBA franchises.
Yeah, and I mean I got to give them credit. They did put together a neat little team there. They weren't my cup of tea, but and I'll be honest, I love Quinn Snyder. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's going to get another job at some point. I like him. I don't know where he's going to be, so good luck to him. Ainge is running the team now, so it's like shrewd move after shrewd move is coming. And I think if they do trade both of them, it's gonna be a couple bad years in Utah, but Danny Ainge usually knows what he's doing. So
I think he loves rebuilds. I think it's like he's a real life 2K guy that trades.
Yeah, he likes a unique fixer upper opportunity, and that's exactly what the Utah Jazz are at this point. And I think that Donovan Mitchell. So with Donovan Mitchell chatter, so I have not been keeping track of Donovan. I'm not on Donovan Mitchell watch right now. So tell me, what is the chatter that you have heard about him?
I mean, a lot as far as like shopping him and stuff, but it sounds like the most likely place is Miami.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, so and it sounds like it's like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and a pick is like the basis of it before they get deeper.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would trade those guys for him.
I am gonna be honest. I really like Donovan Mitchell. We've talked about this for years.
Yeah, I do too. But
I also feel like we kind of overrate him.
We do.
Like, is he a franchise-changing player? Like, are we sure about this? Like,
no, he was I would say he is an overachieving small man who has done some amazing things for Utah basketball.
Does he help Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry win? Like, are we sure of this?
Do you play him with both of those guys?
I mean, yeah, that's got to be the basis, right? Because you're not moving either one of those guys in a trade.
I don't know, man. I don't like the idea.
I feel the same way you do. Like I'm like
I don't like the idea of having 2 6'1" guys as my backcourt. I don't like it, especially when one's like 38 years old.
Yeah, this isn't the Atlantic 10 conference. Like you can't get away with it here. Like
you can't get away with it, and I don't like it. If you're gonna throw him, if he's gonna play point guard, cool. And you're gonna somehow get rid of Kyle Lowry, whatever. You're not gonna get anything for him, but I don't know. I don't like that pairing, and I feel like someone like Tyler Hero is gonna go someplace else and just be like the man.
Like I loved my like fake trade I did a couple weeks ago of Brooklyn and Utah, where Kyrie Irving just goes to Utah and just like is like, I am home.
Yeah, you can just go out there and hang out and be forgotten about.
Right, but I have this bad feeling Kyrie Irving's going to end up with the Lakers. I just have this terrible feeling.
Really?
Yeah. Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, picks, whatever, craziness.
You see Russell Westbrook going to the Nets.
You don't see this as like a crazy possibility?
It's so crazy that no, I don't. I don't.
I'm not picking it to happen. I'm just saying if we wake up like the day before the draft and we hear that like the Lakers and Nets are having a discussion for Kyrie Irving, I'm gonna go, okay.
Okay.
But no, I I don't know, man. It sounds like something where LeBron would go, do that, that thing.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
We played together before.
Yeah.
We played together before. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
It's like,
yep.
Just stop listening to him. So real quick before we kind of keep going, I want to ask you talk real quick about Kenny Atkinson getting the Charlotte job
Over Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, but I thought I read somewhere that he was going to ask D'Antoni to be on his staff potentially.
That sounds weird. Beat you out for the job, but you want to join me?
Yeah, very Ty Lue, Jason Kidd-esque from what the Lakers wanted to do.
Very Obama Hillary.
Yeah. That's a better one. Yeah, that's a much better one.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good fit. I really liked Kenny Atkinson. Obviously, Durant and Kyrie got him fired, and he's had 2 years now under Steve Kerr, which like not a bad guy to learn from.
No.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be great. And I think the coolest thing about this is he has experience, like getting more out of big point guards. So he was there during the D'Angelo Russell breakout.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's got LaMelo Ball. He's gonna know what to do with him because he's like, I don't think LaMelo Ball is obviously not the shooter that D'Angelo Russell was at that time. I don't have their numbers in front of me to say what it is now.
Yeah.
But he's obviously way more of a passer and way more of a fire starter for their team. So I like this fit. I think it's going to be, Charlotte's. I don't ever feel like we're going to be talking about Charlotte as like a finals contender per se. It just feels weird to have that conversation.
No, we could talk about them being a perennial, fixture in the NBA playoffs every year.
Yeah, and I think like they're
with the way they're
close.
Yeah, they are I think they're very close. I do think there's a lot of work to be done on this team.
Yeah. Especially now that
LaMelo
got arrested yesterday, apparently.
Yeah, for some marijuana down in Kentucky. Yeah, and it's funny that and then today Andy Bashir comes out and is already pushing for medical marijuana to be, so yes, coincidence? I think not. But LaMelo is a perfect guy to build around. So he's a perfect guy to build around. I love his future. Having a glue guy like Gordon Hayward on this team, great, but is he there long term? I don't know. PJ Washington, I don't know how did he I'll be honest with you, I kind of stopped keeping track of PJ Washington towards the end of the season. How did he end up?
I don't think he was necessarily great.
Okay.
I really liked what they got from Miles Bridges. I think Miles Bridges was
Bridges has been very good. So it's do you hold on? Now there's some, I'm reading some rumors right now that the Hornets are looking to get Ayton for Bridges and Washington. It's a possibility.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Put LaMelo and you throw Ayton in there, man. Ayton's gonna be a hot commodity. Like he's gonna be a hot commodity. The hot commodity, because like I said, I think he was completely undervalued, and I think he was underused in Phoenix. I really, really do, and they did not deserve him.
This was supposed to be the big free agent year, and all those guys signed long extensions. Like this was supposed to be the honest free agent year, and this was supposed to be like, and all those guys signed deals. So it's like,
yeah, they're all locked down. So, I like this team. They've got kind of an interesting group of people. Terry Rozier, obviously Montrez, which could be going to jail for 5 years for some freaking weed. Jesus Christ.
I feel like that's where I need to get better as an editor and get this Stephen A. Smith clip, the stay off the weed clip.
Yeah, that's just stupid. But I like what they've got. I love Atkinson there. He's a guy, like you said, he's going to basically get more out of nothing. So that's what he does. He's got experience with the tall point guards who knows how to build an offense around him. Great hire. I am very, very happy that they picked him over D'Antoni.
I am too. I just feel like it kind of goes back to like my Darvin Ham to the Lakers thing. I feel like that getting the guy who maybe isn't like the most well known might be the best case. So like Terry Stotts was up for the Laker job, and we've been pretty open about being fans of Terry Stotts in the past, but we've seen that like there's a ceiling to him.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like a guy like Darvin Ham and a guy here like Kenny Atkinson, who really got like let go from Brooklyn before he could really establish himself.
Yeah, he did.
Has
He
a
was a good
chance
coach.
Yeah, real. I mean, that Brooklyn team that made the playoffs that lost to Philly with D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen. Like that. I like that team a lot.
Yeah, they were great. They were a lot of fun. That team hasn't been the same. Yeah.
They were like the last time the Brooklyn Nets were likable.
Yeah, they were. And it's like last year it's like last year they almost made the NBA Finals, and like I don't know, I look at the Kenny Atkinson team in just higher regard, just because of what he was able to do. I mean, it was like he had some guys that he basically had a team that was outplaying themselves every night. So, they were overachieving on a regular basis, which that's the kind of team that you want. And there's a part of me that kind of thinks that just maybe the Boston Celtics are doing the same thing right now.
It's very possible.
Could be. So I'm saying if they lose this next one, I'm crowning them overachievers at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think they're a Chris Middleton injury away from not being where they are right now.
Yeah.
Which is not an insult. It happens.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I think last year, the Phoenix Suns are a healthy LeBron and Anthony Davis away from being eliminated in the first round. So, and they played in the finals too. So, it's just kind of how the ball rolls sometimes. Derpy Gaming asked again, what do the Bulls need? Anything missing pieces? A true power forward, which they feel like it's going to be Pat Williams. I feel like it's going to be Pat Williams. But until they have a full idea, I would like to see them get some more bucket getters off the bench, because Kobe White, I would go ahead and say, is about a 98% chance will not be playing for the Bulls next year.
Yeah, they need to go after a power forward. I mean, if this was NBA 2K, you're just going to go after Bol, but it is not.
Yeah. Who Philip Russell writes it a couple weeks ago, the Orlando Magic have no plans for Bol.
Yes.
So
shocker.
Yeah. So finals will be wrapped up at the latest. What, Game 7 would be Monday? Or is it Sunday?
Game 7. Let's see here. Game 7. NBA Finals is. Why do we not know this? We're terrible. It is going to be Sunday at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Yes. So that would be Game 7. So the NBA season could end on Thursday night. It could, but if it doesn't, it's definitely going to end on Sunday.
Cool. Perfect.
Yes.
So I know next week's draft week. We're pretty excited. Love the draft.
Yeah.
Very, very excited to see what the Orlando Magic do. I promise if you're listening to the audio version, I will not put the Orlando Magic theme song in this week's episode. I've done it twice now. I'm going to run it to the ground. I don't want to do that because I'm going to need it again.
You are. You're going to need it again. You're right.
Yes. And I just love it so much. Sean Derpy Gaming wants to know if you've been looking at the chat. What do you think of some of his Cavaliers trade ideas?
Oh, I'm actually not looking at the chat. So can I look at the chat? How do I look at the chat?
Click on
comments. I can see it. Oh, here we go. Okay. I am so sorry, Derpy. I did not have them up.
He's been very active in the chat. I got to respect.
Yeah, Jesus, Derpy Gaming. Man.
Someone's gotta be.
Yeah, he is. He's pulling out all the stops today.
I love it. Thank you.
Sexton or Coro for Bogdanovich? Yeah.
Thumbs up for Tim.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
I actually like Sexton and Trae Young together. I think it would just be like a total total passing back and forth.
Oh yeah.
You take this one. No, you take this one.
You hate that team, but they're going to probably be pretty fun, just going back and shooting threes and stuff and just being annoying. But yeah, I like that one. I like that. I like that one a lot. Derpy Gaming. That's a good one.
Yeah. I like any Bogdanovich on the Cavs situation with their current roster. A veteran 3-point shooter. I'm all in for. Yeah. So I'm on record. I know we're gonna do like probably a mock draft at some point next week. I'm putting that together. I think the Magic are going Jabari Smith, #1 from Auburn.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and Philip Rossman-Reich from Locked On Magic and Orlando Magic Daily was on a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite NBA dudes, by the way. Just like, really energetic and like, to be a diehard Magic fan is gotta be painful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm really excited for them, and I'm can't wait to watch next week. So, yeah, keep tabs, keep up with us. We're gonna kind of try to figure out what we're gonna do from here. Thanks again to all of you that hung out in the chat today, specifically Derpy Gaming, because you were very active and we're definitely appreciative of questions and insight during this. So it makes our podcast episodes a lot easier. Be sure to check us out on your podcast subscription of choice, whether it be Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google. I think we're still on Stitcher.
I was going to mention Stitcher. Yeah.
I'm
going to throw them a bone.
Yeah.
We're all over
there. Check out 48minutesbasketballnetwork.merchmake.com, where you can get some of our gear and some swag.
Prepare yourself for fall. There's some nice sweatshirts, some nice sweatpants, some good activewear. I'm definitely gonna be picking up some myself soon.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Because I need something to wear my Con Air shirt with.
Yeah,
really bring the whole outfit together.
So before we get out of here, I gotta get a shout out to our guy one more time. He says he's gonna rewatch Game 7 of 2016. Which we have done an episode on. If you go back during the COVID time, and we were desperate for content, we did a whole series of the Cavs Warriors rivalry. So you can go back and listen to Sean and I actually did this episode, and did a rewatch of it. So
and I don't do rewatches very often. So
yeah, I actually really like them. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night, and we will be back next week.